Okay, this video will this video is related to energy transfer between trophic levels. And it's something we know from CSEC days, where we have a food chain. First of all, we get energy coming from the sun. Most of this energy is lost. For example, most of it will not reach a photosynthetic plant. And even that which reaches a plant, many of it is of the wrong wavelength and therefore isn't used. And after that, because energy transfer isn't 100% efficient, more energy is lost. But of the energy available to producers, this thing seems that gives 10,000 kilocalories. Most energy is lost as heat, and the energy requirements of the plant. And then, so of the energy available to producers, only about 1,000, a tenth of it, gets carried into the energy of the primary consumer. And again, you have only 10% of that is available to secondary consumers, and less still for tertiary consumers. And this means we can't have too many trophic levels because of the energy loss at each. And at the top of a food chain, you have what is called an apex predator. So this here is an apex predator. So let us look at the objects we discovered. First of all, we're going to discuss the efficiency of transfer between trophic levels. And the main thing is this isn't terribly efficient. So as energy goes from one trophic level to another, most of the energy is lost. And discuss the concept of biological pyramids, including limitations of pyramids of numbers, biomass, and energy. Each of them has pros and cons, and construct pyramids of energy using quantitative data. This means you've got to construct it accurately. So the length of the rectangle represents the energy available. It's got to be quantitative. So the amount of energy at each trophic level decreases as it moves through an ecosystem. As little as 10% of the energy at any trophic level is transferred to the next, and the rest is lost largely through metabolic processes as heat. If a grassland ecosystem has 10,000 kilocalories of energy concentrated in vegetation, only about 1,000 will be transferred to primary consumers, and very little, only 10 kilocalories, will make it to the tertiary level. And this relationship can be shown in a pyramid of energy. And this is a pyramid of energy. You have the units here, 10,000 followed by 1,000 followed by 100 followed by 10. And at each trophic level, energy is lost as respiration and heat. At each level, the matter is broken down by decomposers. And decomposers live off detritus, decomposing waste and dead matter from the other trophic levels. So this represents a pyramid of energy. Pyramids of energy have several disadvantages. To develop a pyramid of energy, we must know how much energy is contained in the tissue at each trophic level. And to do this, you must use calorimetry. In other words, you need to burn the dry tissue and find out how much energy it contains. So in this process, a sample of material is burned to determine how much energy it contains. Therefore, it is very time-consuming to determine values for a pyramid of energy. So instead of pyramids of energy, we can have pyramids of biomass. It is an ecological pyramid which measures the dry mass of organisms in different trophic levels. And the unit of dry mass will be measured in the kilograms per meter squared. Just as for the pyramids of energy, it will be calories or joules per meter squared. Advantage. It's fairly accurate and often has a normal pyramid shape. Although it doesn't always have this, there are exceptions to this. When the producers are small in size and reproduce quickly, which happens in aquatic ecosystems from time to time. So disadvantages, difficult to get data. Again, you need to kill the organisms and evaporate all the water inside of its body to get the dry mass. And if the producers have a small size and short life and reproduce quickly, then the pyramid shape can be inverted at a certain level. So pyramids of numbers is the other one we know, where we simply count the numbers. Advantage is a simple method of giving an overview, and it's good for comparing changes in population numbers over time or season. And disadvantages, all organisms are included regardless of their size. Therefore, some pyramids are inverted, or they're much more likely to be inverted. And they do not allow for juveniles or immature forms. They are still given the same number as an adult. And sometimes numbers can be too great to represent accurately. Sometimes it's too difficult to measure, to count all of those numbers. So this gives an example of pyramids of numbers, biomass, and pyramid of energy. And notice the pyramid of energy is always triangular or pyramidal in shape, whereas pyramids of biomass, and especially numbers, the shape isn't always this way. Notice pyramid of biomass is inverted when you have aquatic ecosystems where you have phytoplankton. And the point is the phytoplankton has to be reproducing very, very quickly in order to support a larger biomass of zooplankton. So it can only occur if the phytoplankton is reproducing at a very rapid rate. We're also going to look at ecological terms. So ecology is a study of interactions of organisms with one another and the physical environment. Of biosphere, where organisms are found, from the atmosphere to the oceans. Of populations, which are numbers of a specific species. Community, all the interacting populations. Ecosystem, the biotic community combined with the abiotic environment. Habitat, the place of residence, and niche, the organism's role in community. And I suppose biotic is living and abiotic, non-living. And notice, or remember that biotic can include things such as feces. I suppose in feces is a large number of bacteria. And this represents a food web, which shows the feeding relationships in an ecosystem. So it has a slightly different role from a food chain, which simply shows energy transfer. Food webs show feeding relationships. And of course, the more complex a food web is, the more stable the ecosystem is. And this basically completes this presentation.